I have a disorder called PMDD, Premenstrual Dysphoric Disorder. It's a disorder that affects 1 in 20 women, and it's estimated that 15% of those women commit or attempt to take their own lives. The symptoms can occur in the lateral phase, so from ovulation to around the time of your period. For some, symptoms can last only a few days, and for others it can last a few weeks. These symptoms can affect your entire well-being and your life. The way I can describe this disorder is it affects everything. It affects who you are, it affects your whole life, from just getting up in the mornings to going out. You feel so tired that you feel that I feel like this weight is tied around me and it's just pulling me down all the time. I want to sleep, I have no energy. Then I have the insomnia. So the insomnia can happen where I could just be laying in bed and I'm just wanting to go to sleep. I'm screaming that I want to go to sleep, but I just physically cannot yet. I'm so tired. And then you get dreams. The dreams are so vivid. Like, I've had some really awful dreams. I've had some really great dreams. Things that you could write a book on or write a movie, and you'd have people wanting to come buy the script of you because they're just so unreal. Then it affects your mood. 1 minute you could be fine, the next minute for some little thing of just how my tea's been made, I could really just go mad and I could get really angry and be verbally aggressive or physically aggressive towards my family.
A lot of things I've tried to forget about. I couldn't pick one out, I don't think. It's mainly Hannah's, the main times it hits, big time, is around like calendar events like birthdays, Christmas, anything like that, anything where there's high stress, then Hannah seems to explode in spectacular fashion.
I was 18 and my dad had just given me a tank of fuel because I was a student, had no money, and so he was like, come on, I'll fill your car up so you can go off and do other things, get to college. So he'd done something really nice for me, and I came home and I fell out with my sister pushed my buttons, and I can't really remember what happened, but my mum told me that I'd started fighting with my sister. She came in to break it up and I turned around and hit her. I've never really raised my fist or anything to my mum, but I can't remember, because when you're in that fit of rage it happens anyway. My dad came home, he was really angry, really disappointed, and he'd said to me, you're nothing but a selfish bitch. I can't have you here anymore. It's not fair to your brother, it's not fair to your sister, I can't put up with this. I need you gone before I come home. He left with my brother that day. Died behind the wheel of a car from a heart attack. His last words to me was that I was a selfish bitch and he just couldn't have me around anymore, and I never got to say goodbye, I never got to say I was sorry. He never got to realise later on that I have this disorder that really affects everything. So he just saw this horrible, horrible person who was around and didn't realise. So I went through a lot of my life having that guilt, and I was blamed by a lot of really close family that I was the one who caused his heart attack, that I caused a lot of stress. I caused a lot of problems to my family, so it was really, really hard, and not long after he was buried, I attempted to take my own life. I spent days taking pills just because I didn't want to be this person. I didn't want to be this selfish person, and I wasn't. I just couldn't control anything. And my best friend was with me at the time, and she realised that something wasn't right, and she took me to A&E, and had she have not, I wouldn't be here today.
I've kind of been at the end of the phone for, you know, whatever crisis it was for years, and I guess all you can do is be there for someone. If you don't understand it any more than that, then I guess you just try and support them through whatever hard time they're going through. But yeah, it was a big worry. She's kind of always fallen into some sort of difficult situation, got herself into something or whatever, and I felt a bit like I didn't know what to do, but apart from just, you know, try to be there when she needed me.
It can just affect who you are as a person, and then there's that one week where you feel normal and you feel that you have a glimpse of hope, that this is who you are, and it only lasts for a really short period of time and then it goes again. And it's really hard because that person who you are goes into these dark depths and is in the back and is screaming, I'm here, this isn't who you are. Yet this other person comes and they take over, and you're in this dark place for a really long time until you come back for that 1 week of a month.
We couldn't get any help. That was what I found the worst, not getting any professional help. You know, when I did take her to the doctors and try and explain what was happening, and it started when she was 14, because she was an angel up till then, they would just say it was bad behaviour.
Before my mum sort of came and supported me, I basically rang my friends and told them, in case I die, or you know, you start thinking about this as a parent, this is what I want you to do. But what they don't know is I was planning to kill myself, because I felt my son's world would be better off without his mum in it than having his mum in his life, who was this destruction, this chaos. I felt he was better off. He was so much better off without me around. He didn't need me in his life. He'd have a happy life, he'd have a normal life. He wouldn't have his mum who one minute was happy, the next minute wasn't. He wouldn't grow up thinking, oh, this isn't right, this isn't. And I went to go and hang myself in my pagoda. I didn't have Austin that day, I really planned it, and that was when my mum had rang me just before. I don't know if she'd sent something, but she'd said that she just had a feeling to phone me, and that was when we discussed, and she said, I think this is it. And something inside me said, just what's the harm of 5 more minutes? What's the harm of 5 more minutes? Just do it. And then when I did discover what it could be, and that it could be potentially PMDD, the more I read, the more I saw, the more videos I see of all these women pouring their heart out who's had, you know, stories of where they've tried to kill themselves or had these problems. I realised that could be what it is, so I went about trying to look to get some help. No one understands this, and it can result, if you don't get that help in, that you could end up killing yourself. My son, had my mum have not rung me that day, and had I have not found help via Google, he wouldn't have a mum today. You know, his mum wouldn't be here. My family would be picking up the pieces and calling me selfish, calling me this, not understanding that actually there is something that affects me.
Firstly, I think it makes me feel really proud of Hannah, that
It's alright, just say.
that she's come through it all. can't